going to say streaming on Facebook. So welcome everybody here via Zoom. Those who are on Facebook, I am Carl the Third. Y'all probably, a lot of y'all know me. If you do not, you will have the opportunity to learn me or learn a little or a lot about me when very, very soon during the day. But I want to jump right into it. Welcome to the Cyber Business Camp Informational. It's our second annual one. I can actually say that now. Last year was inaugural. This is second annual, and it really is one of my most fulfilling programs that I do. As you learn more about me, you'll see that I really do have a heart for our youth, heart for our community. And aside from what I do professionally, this is one of those, I guess, passion projects that I like to do that really is helping me to, fulfill what I feel is my destiny, which is to help others and especially help the next generation. So without further ado, I'm going to jump right into my presentation. I don't want to hold it up too long. I know there were some people who said they were going to be a little bit late, but it's being recorded, so I'll be happy to share that with them as well. So here we are as I begin to share the screen. All right. So welcome to the Cyber Business Camp information session for today. And what we're talking about here is brought on by Launch with Carl and Learn from a Hacker, which are both my businesses. And we basically are putting this on in order to train the next generation in the great skills of cybersecurity and ethical hacking, which is and entrepreneurship. So as we all know, entrepreneurship is the backbone of our society. Every year, 4.4 million businesses start. Some of them fail, but many of them actually succeed. And it's all based upon the trainings that we get. And we know that there is no greater vehicle to drastically increase a person's lot in life than a vehicle of business and entrepreneurship. This is something that I tell all of my clients, no matter what their ages. At the same time, cybersecurity is also one of the fastest growing industries on the planet. And with the boom of technology, often comes the boom of cybersecurity. And as you see, things are growing at a rapid pace. And according to Tech Republic, data breaches are increasing more and more than 50% annually, making the role of cybersecurity specialists even more important. And I know you've seen the rise of artificial intelligence, how many places have gotten hacked over recent days even. I just got a call the other day from a locality that I do cybersecurity for, and they were talking about how they got another breach that they want us to come into. So these are truly dangerous times, but it's also a time for opportunity. And so in doing this, I want to prepare our youth to be able to take advantage of even what is happening so that they're able to profit from it. So now, does entrepreneurship pay? Like, really, is that even a question? The truth is, it can be a highly lucrative field with seemingly limitless potential for growth and success. The sky is truly the limit when it comes to how much money a person can make from their own business. Now, some find it early in life, some may take longer to reach their goals. And today we're here to talk about helping your students to find it early in life, even earlier than I did. Some take hard work and dedication. Actually, all take hard work and dedication. But with the right tools and resources, anyone has the capability to be successful in entrepreneurship. And one of the best things about entrepreneurship is that anyone can do it, no matter how old, how young, as long as with what they have in their head, their heart, and their hands. Putting those three things together, and with the right tools and incentives and methodologies, anyone can be successful in this. So moving forward, does ethical hacking pay? I can just say the answer is yes. We don't have to answer that question, but I'll give you just a few statistics. The more conservative, 50,000 to 100,000 per year in the first few years, depending on your employer experience and education. I can tell you when I first got into cybersecurity that, this was, years ago, I was well above the average salary in our nation, in the world or whatever. The average starting salary for a certified ethical hacker, which is one of the certifications that I hold, is $95,000. That's at the very beginning. And as of October 11th, 2019, the average annual pay for an ethical hacker in the United States was $115,571 per year. So, I mean, if you want to sit there and you think about how, in getting into any industry, you would want one that starts well and that is growing. And no matter if people have noticed, even in the midst of the pandemic, in the midst of everything that's going on, these continue to work. They continue to grow. We actually have a 0% unemployment rate in cybersecurity, meaning that there's always for every time there's somebody who needs a job, there is one there if you have the right certifications, and actually always looking for people. So I always like to remind people that you're worth the time that you're taking right now. And to prove that to yourself, I'm going to ask you to do a few things very, very quickly. Number one, close your email, right? Close all 20 browser windows that you currently have open. And I'm guilty of that as well, having a bunch of browsers open. Close the door. There's something about closing the door to the room that you're in, even if nobody else is in the house, that gives you the isolation and the focus that is needed to go through, to pay attention to what you need to pay attention to. Put your phone on and social media on silent. I'm doing the same thing as well. Ask your children, even though this is about them, not to kill each other for the next hour. They can actually come in and listen, since this is about them. I have no problem with you inviting your children to this session. It's just fine with me. And then also, we're gonna talk about myself really, really quick. I don't really like talking so much about myself, but sometimes I have to in order to bring validation to what I do. I am the owner of 4 successful businesses. All of them have operated in the Black from the very beginning. And there's a reason why, even with some of the methodologies that I teach, even adults in doing this. It's been a decade since I've had a boss. I love being a self-employed business owner. I do ethical hacking and penetration testing on the cybersecurity side, security awareness, IT audit, all those things. On the entrepreneurship side, I do business development. I do process improvement. I also give back to the community. I'm the chairman of the board for the Kennedy Foundation of the Arts. I'm a member of the Prince George's County Public School System Business Management and Finance Advisory Board. I'm the founder of Learn from a Hacker, where I teach people how to protect themselves from hackers and even how to become ethical hackers. And also, I have over 30,000 hours of paid consulting work education in my fields of expertise. I'm also a best-selling author of my book, The 7-Day Business Plan, which you can see right in the back there. And this story can be yours too. This can be your child's too. So I'll tell you a little bit about myself, a little about my history. How did I get here? Really quick. I actually started in cybersecurity at the age of 26 after getting a degree in political science from the great Hampton University. If you see my shirt, I actually have on a Hampton shirt. Shout out to Howard for making it to the NCAA. I supported y'all enough. I did that. So now I'm back on my stuff. Then I started my first official business at the age of 29, as an entrepreneur. Now, the reason that I talk about these things is that I could have started all of these things over a decade earlier, and I had to sit and think, as I was going through and doing business, it was like, okay, wait. Why did I wait so long? And what I've discovered is what we invest in is what we will succeed in. I want to say that again. What we invest in is what we will succeed in. That means our time, the things that we put our time into, our money into, our focus on, we will get good at it. Some people, whether it's sports, whether it's entertainment, whether it's acting, singing, dancing, entrepreneurship, playing video games, making excuses, all of those things, the more we invest our time and our energy into it, the better we will become at it, right? Let's take a look at sports real quick. Full disclosure, I am a program director and consultant for Strive for Perfection, and we put on youth sports camps every year, not just every year, we do it every month, seems like. We do all-star games, tournaments, all of that stuff. So, and I see what all the time and effort that it's invested in our students. So I'm talking about, we do peewee leagues in football. We got camps, we got skills training, leagues, recruitment. Even now we do NIL. So all of these things, and you see, learning the basics of dribbling, shooting, running, all of that stuff to make our children great. And we see that it can actually pay off. You look at LeBron James, he was already considered great in high school. So how do you think he was when he first started? Was he 4? Was he 5? I don't really know his story, but you can see that in all of these things that people are really starting at very, very young ages. Now, what if we invested, as we talked about, our time and our energy in the same way in other lucrative professions? And today I'm talking specifically about entrepreneurship. I want to imagine if I would have started, the basics of entrepreneurship when I was 13, 14, 15, 16 years old, or the basics in cybersecurity and computers when I was 13, 14, 15, 16 years old. Imagine how far I would have been 13, 14, 15 years later at it, how successful I would have been. And I'm very grateful for what I have now. I live a very wonderful life. But I often think about, what if, and it's not a regret, but it's actually motivated me to do and talk about what I'm talking about you today, where we are going to take control of our future, and when I talk about the future, I'm really talking about the next generation, the students that we have, these our high schoolers, our middle schoolers, even in college, they don't have to wait until they have to respond to what's going on in the future. You have to respond to what's happening. They can actually already be prepared. The same way that these athletes, when they step onto the court the first year in the NBA or even in college, they're already prepared. They know exactly who they are and what they want to be because they've gotten the investment. They've learned the skills. They've gotten the training to do it. So, if you like what I'm saying, say amen in the comments. I get a little bit of audience participation. People say that's good to do. So that's what I'm going to do right now. Get a little bit of audience participation as we move forward. So I see it in the comments. Thank you so much. You got an amen. Amen, amen, and amen. Yes. So what I am doing today is I'm inviting you and your student to my 2023 Cyber Business Camp, which will be from June the 24th to July 14th of 2023. And I'm really looking forward to it. Again, it is my pet project. It's like that thing that I look forward to every year. People who know me, they know even the past month of February, which was quote unquote CTE month in Prince George's County, I was at schools every week talking to students, not even about this, but I did a boot camp at Potomac High School. I did some talk at Laurel High School. I was in communication with the Prince George's County Public School officials, just talking about how better we can serve the students. And this was all volunteer because it's what I love to do. So it's going to be from 9 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. And I know you see the asterisk there. That's because it's broken up into 2 sessions. So whether your child wants to go down the young ethical hacker path, or they want to go down the young entrepreneur path, they can do either or both. We've actually scheduled it that way. Last year we broke it up, 2 separate weeks, but this year we found out it would be more advantageous to do it all at one time because some students want, we still want to be able to have their vacations, still do the sports camps and things of that nature. So for the Young Ethical Hacker Camp, very simple. And both are virtual, so they'll be able to do it from the comfort of their own home. It's from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. And we basically, we talk about the terminology, the risk, I actually teach them the ethics of ethical hacking, not just the methodologies, but also the ethics of it, how to, what you can do, what you can't do. And again, I always inform them from the very beginning that there is nothing that I show in this class that they cannot show to their parents. And that's any type of interaction that I will ever have with your child. I'm very, very, very serious about them being obedient and submissive to their parents. That is number one on my list at all times. But the parents who have been a part of my programs can tell you about that. I still talk to the parents. I don't talk to the students that often unless they send me something, but all the communication comes through the parents because I believe that, number one, child safety and even more importantly than that, them honoring their parents. That fifth commandment is very important to me. So yes, it covers, security policies, risk management, a new way of looking at passwords, how to create a password to protect yourself, cryptographic principles, meaning how to crack things, how to disguise text and things like that, network attacks, malware. Essentially, I teach them everything, not everything, but the basics of what is necessary for a successful career in ethical hacking. The same way they will learn how to dribble, how to shoot, how to rebound. These are the things that we're talking about here. On the Young Entrepreneur Camp side, again, comprehensive program. We don't just pity pat. We want them to learn how to be successful. As I said before, I'm teaching them the things that I started to learn when I was 26 and 29. So it's a very supportive environment. As you can see, I'm excited about it. My other instructors, they're very excited as well. But they'll learn what an entrepreneur is, how an entrepreneur thinks, because most of what we do is always mindset. They're going to learn about branding, marketing, sales, financials, business planning. They will actually be able to create a business plan, elevator pitch, and even pitch their business plan to other business owners, and that's with a chance to win money. And both of these actually have cash prizes associated with it. The young ethical hackers, they'll actually be able to do a bounty program. I always have a bounty program where they have to hack me and hack what I have using the skills that I've taught them in order to succeed. So it's really meant to reinforce that all topics are covered in an easy to understand introductory level with homework assignments. Yes, there is homework because I do like them to know, but I'm also available to help them. So getting a little bit deeper into what is available. And if you ever have any questions, feel free to type them in the comments, and if I don't see them, I'll definitely respond to them. Because I know some people are watching on Facebook, Twitter, and all those other places as well. So the Young Ethical Hacker Camp, give you a little bit more of what we're doing there. They'll be able to build their own ethical hacking lab on day one. So not only will they have their machine, which will mirror what I use on my professional projects, but they'll also have the targets that they'll be hacking, because what's also important is they can't just go hacking, people in businesses and all that type of stuff. A very safe environment. It's kind of like a range, so where they have both the weapon as well as the target in a safe environment that is overseen by myself and our professionals here. Then we say we develop the mind of a hacker. As you may have seen in some of the advertisements, that critical thinking that is necessary. Help them to see, to channel those things, to channel that curiosity in a way where they're able to really understand how it works for them. Password attacks. Yes, they will learn how to crack bad passwords. And I'm very specifically to say bad passwords. Y'all know when they tell you that you're supposed to do this, do that, and the other, not use this, not use that. When you don't follow the instructions, I'm going to show them how to get into it, just because it's a part of it. But, of course, you're going to be doing your passwords well, so you'll be able to learn it easily. Open source intelligence, how to look at sites like Google, Bing, and other places to actually gain information and learn how to really understand the world around them, and even a lot of business intelligence that goes on. But all of this open source, meaning fully legal to see these things. Bypass security, teach them how to learn how to get through certain things in order to deep dive into computers, whether it be escalating their privileges, whether it's going deeper into a network. Again, all of this is going to be in a safe environment that we're going to be developing and to teach them the basics. Then, of course, there's website hacks, because everything now is on the web. So they'll learn about SQL injection, cross-site scripting, other major vulnerabilities that exist. In the Young Entrepreneur Camp, so week one, we're going to talk about their business structure and their marketing, helping them to turn the idea that they have into a viable product. So over those days, we're going to talk about who it is they're going to be, what they're going to be doing, how it helps people. Because, in entrepreneurship, all it is about how much you can help somebody, and how much you can to get something that they want in exchange for goods, services, and of course money. So we start with them understanding what the product is, how it helps people, then how to target that to the perfect customer. And again, these are the same, not only methodologies that I teach, but also the methodologies that I use. So they'll have the idea for their company and how to market it, over these hours. Again, this is over 30 hours over 3 weeks. And so we really take advantage of every hour that we have. Then we do making the plan. Now, like we say, starting a business is difficult, but one way to ensure the success is making this plan. So they'll learn about how to analyze their competition. They'll be able to conduct market analysis, competitive analysis, develop a marketing plan. This is not a pish posh type of course. This is not one of those things you come in and it is like, it's a time waster. This is literally the things that are necessary that, if you as a parent wanted to start a business, you would want to know these things, but I'm just teaching it in a way that's more relatable to the students. Then we talk about ownership, finance, operations, management, all of this stuff. And one of the reasons that we're going this deep is, to my surprise, last year in our pitch competition, one of our students was getting offers to be for investment in her company. And, even to the point, there was one of the folks on one of the judges worked for one of the big four consulting firms. And he was sending a message like, hey, look, if she really wants to do this, I'm willing to invest. So, so they have to know about ownership. They have to know about those type of things. So that's what I really we're going to deep dive into that as well as showing them and giving them tips and providing them templates on how to properly present their business ideas to any and everyone that is out there. So how does the class work? So there will be 4-hour instructor-led classes each day of class. Then, of course, the interns and teachers will help them throughout if they have any questions or concerns. It's very interactive. It's not one of those, hey, we're just going to, talk at you the whole time. No, it's very interactive. They're able to ask questions at any point during our sessions. Type them in, talk to each other, help each other. Then every lesson is hands-on and they're interactive and custom-made labs for our ethical hacking. And then we have optional enhanced lessons, meaning especially for on the cybersecurity side, they have we're going to set up practice labs for them to, keep on instead of just trying to, go over the same thing over and over again, but do the same thing in different ways so they actually gain the experience with it. And, a lot of my interns have actually gone through the class, and even one of my instructors is now an employee, and he's going to be helping to teach as well, because part of what I am doing with this is not just teaching, but also giving the opportunities for employment, for internships, not just with myself, but across many different fields with other companies as well, who are looking forward to hearing from your students and seeing their success and even helping them, because many of us who have been successful really want to give back and see the next generation succeed. So the question is, are you ready to start learning? Are you ready to have your child begin to learn and see the expertise of that they can start now and not have to wait until college, not have to wait until later on in life to get there? So let's talk about what they'll need. That's very important. For the ethical hacker class, they will need a personal computer. I recommend that it's not the family computer. It should be one that they can use for themselves. We prefer Windows better or Mac OS, Windows 7 or better or Mac OS 10.15. I highly recommend a Windows PC because you're able to do virtualization, build the lab a lot better there. Macs, unfortunately, the way that they work, it has to be very vertical. I don't recommend Google Chromebooks because they can't support some of the things that we do. If they do have a Google Chromebook, then we would have to build the entire lab on AWS, which is free and it's up to them. But we'll work through that and help them with that. But you need 8 megs of RAM, 100 free gigs of memory. If what I even recommend, do not go out and buy a brand new computer for this. Don't do it. You can go to the pawn shop. Most of the time, pawn shops, they will actually have computers that support this. Whenever I want a new hacking computer, I go straight to the pawn shop, or I go to Best Buy and do one of their open box deals, because it would truly suffice. Please, please, please. It's unless you just really want to buy a new computer and that your child's doing really good in school and you feel like they deserve a brand new computer, they can do that, but they don't have to have. I have a bunch of computers sitting up here, and most of them I have not purchased brand new. A couple of them I did, but most of them I did not. For the entrepreneur class, they will need, again, a personal computer. Doesn't have to have the same specs, but access to the internet, word processor. Look, did I just date myself by saying word processor? These kids probably know what a word processor is. Look at me. But yes, using Word or Google Docs is perfect. Presentation software, PowerPoint or Google Slides, and of course, access to the internet, because there is research that needs to be done. And so, how has this worked in the past? So this is a testimonial from Linton Goss, who's currently, he's a freshman. He's a freshman at a technical school in the Midwest, got scholarship money, and I wanted him to go to Hampton, but Hampton, they didn't pay him enough. I wanted all my students to go to Hampton, to be honest with you, they did. But he started in early 2020, and he didn't have any cybersecurity experience at all. But he was working with me, and he learned a whole lot, and I really took him under my wing, along with some others, to learn. And he didn't have a whole lot of experience. He didn't have a whole lot of knowledge of it. But with what we're teaching now, and he actually helped me to teach last year, but with what we're teaching now, he was able to really grasp it, and he began to love it. And so again, now he's in a technical school, very technical, graduated with honors. I mean, I was like super cum laude from high school, and is doing very well for himself. And I'm looking for great things out of him. He's actually done things with NASA and all this type of stuff. And so even on the adult side, Ms. Taylor, who she came in, didn't know much about cybersecurity, and she learned a whole lot. And she actually started doing some things with Learn from a Hacker. She probably still has some of that knowledge. It could, it's not her full-time job. She actually is also one of my entrepreneur clients as well. I actually help her with her business and all of that. But there's so many testimonies I could get into, but just to know that this works for both children and adults, right? So what would you pay on the open market, right? And I always have to look at this myself, because I'm like, okay, so how much does this normally cost to do stuff? Because, I remember the first course I took was $3,000, and those prices have more than doubled now. And even self-paced online courses can cost nearly $2,000 for all of this information. And in most cases, you won't get all of the information in one course. They always try to upsell and all that type of stuff, even to students. And even the ones that they do with students, is more of a babysitting service and busy work than it is actually trying to help them. So, and I actually, have talked to people, and I got some advice, and they told me that because of all of what I share, that I should be charging no less than $2,500 per student. And that's not happening. I'll just tell you that right now. I can give you the before the end of the day. No, I'm not doing that. And if you don't believe me, I will show you. This is evidence right here of how much these cost, even just 4 years ago, the exact same programs with the same information that I'm teaching now. And then after that, you probably won't hear from your instructor again. And that's for nearly $4,000, right? But I am not charging you that because it does not, it doesn't make sense to me, right? And I'm going to pause real quick and just tell you a little bit about my story, and even something that happened last year. I'm going to talk last year before I move forward. As I said before, this has become a passion project for me. And in the midst of, the pandemic or whatever, is when I first started this. And I went through some really tumultuous things last year. I'm getting a little bit personal. In the midst of all of what was going on, even me teaching this course, I lost a lot of people, from that died, but two in particular hit me relatively hard. My niece and my goddaughter, whom I both love. I don't have any children of my own, So, I had no problem investing in them, whether it be money, whether it be time, all of that. They want something from Uncle Carl, just please, ain't no problem. You can get it. And it hit me relatively hard when they passed. And so I didn't want to, but I couldn't just leave the students that I had, because it's like right in the middle of this. And so what happened was I continued, I let them know, hey, y'all, I'm going through some things. Didn't give them, too many details about it, but I said, I'm going through some things. So, y'all got to bear with me, but just know I'm fighting through it. And I did. And I kept my word to them and we went through it. But by the time we got to the final proposal, the final presentations for our Young Entrepreneur Camp, our 3 finalists who got to present were all 3 girls. They were all in the ages teenagers, and just like my niece and my goddaughter. And when I tell you, and if anybody wants to go back and look at that, you can actually see it. It's under my videos way far back, but maybe I'll share the link. But you can see how they presented themselves. And I sat back and I watched, because I say, look, y'all, I taught you this, so now you got to present it yourself. And I myself was amazed, what I'm saying? I ain't no cry, so I wasn't crying or nothing like that. But it was even cathartic for me, to watch their success. As I said, every last one of them outshined even what I expected from them. I'm like, y'all really listened that much to what I said and put it into practice. And so, even like one person, I was getting text for donations. Another person actually got hired to help with the business plan. There were folks saying, hey, when they graduate, I need them. Like I told all of them, they were at the point now they could actually get a small business themselves, just writing, market plans for people and things like that. So that's just a little bit of my story when it comes to this, why I'm so passionate about it, why you'll hear me, talk about it a lot, and why I've been pushing it so hard. I really want to change the face and the pace of these industries. Right now in the cyber industry, less than 1/6 of 1% of our of cybersecurity experts in STEM are Black. Like that's crazy. It's like, is it really that small? Yes, it's really that small, but we have the opportunity to do what is necessary to change the face and change the pace. Like if you go and you look in my profile, you see I posted graphics about it, because I'm very, very serious about it, using AI, because I kind of like it, but I'm very, very serious about it. So I wanted you to see my face as I talked about my passion for this. But I'm going to go on to tell you what else is included with this. So as I say on-demand access is not optional. So it actually comes with on-demand access, where they'll be able to see and understand and go back and look at the classes after they've been done. And they have access to them for a full 365 days. So, up until next year's course, they can actually go back and look. So all of those who have taken my classes before, they can go back and look at their classes even now. It's online and they will access it. They can go at their own pace, really give them an understanding, because I know some people have to hear things more than once. I'm the type of person, I hear something once and I pretty much got it. But I know some people need to hear it over and over and over again, and I want them to have that access to do it. So that goes into that. Then my bonus number 2 is what I like to call a digital dorm room, right? We use a Discord channel with the fellow students, with a past, present, adult, child, anyone who I've ever worked with and taught. They are a part of our digital dorm room on both the entrepreneurship side. There's one for the entrepreneurs and one for the ethical hackers. So they can go in, they can ask questions of myself, instructors, current students, former students. I don't even have a problem with them being able to, quote unquote, cheat off each other. Yes, it's encouraged. If you need help, ask. It's a very collaborative, because what I tell them all the time is, both of these professions are extremely collaborative. No one ever makes it on their own. So, I like, of course, when it comes to the test, I hope they go by the honor code when it's, filling out the ABC Scantron situation. But when it comes to, building out their lab, building out their plans, they become fast friends. Some just met in our course last year, became really good friends, and they continue to talk to each other even more than they speak with me. Then we get daily updates on real-time happenings in the world and things of that nature. Like I said, we have our Ethical Hacker Bounty Program. So starting in week 3, I let them know what the target is, even as they're still learning. So, there will be a cash bounty program open to all of the students. So they will be able to win cash by putting the skills that they learn to use immediately. And it's not a little bit of money. I'll just put it like that. Because I put it out there. It's a gift card that when they find it, they own it. They download it, and part of it is they have to delete it so nobody else can get it. So it's theirs. And I have, I love the fact that we every course that I've done, there's been a bounty program, and every time it's been paid out, and they love it. It actually even helps the parents to recoup. I hope they tell it. I tell their parents if they want it, because this is how I operate. Then we have our Young Entrepreneur Pitch Contest. So at the end of the 3 weeks, they have the opportunity to earn cash prizes and demonstrating the knowledge and experience gained in their pitch contest. And the students will present their plans in front of industry experts and leaders who will judge their output and give them meaningful suggestions. So it's not just judging them, but it's also saying, hey, may want to work on this, may want to work on that, to really start their businesses. All finalists, actually, I pay for every finalist to start that, to have an LLC. Of course, they have to do it through their parents, but anyone who becomes a finalist who presents in front of our final panel of judges, they will have the LLC paid for, because that's important to me to help them to do that. So how much does it cost? So like, yo, Carl, if you've been to the website, you already know. So normally it's $7.99 for the Young Entrepreneur Camp, $1,600 essentially for both, and $9.99 for the Young Ethical Hacker Camp, which is, again, you see the difference in prices based upon what I'm giving and what others have given. The reason that I do this, again, is because it is what is important to me to do. So, but our early action special is over the next 48 hours. If you purchase, you will get 50% off. The code is at the top of the page. If you go to www.cyberbusinesscamp.com, you'll see it. You'll see it up there, and you can take the early access special. We get 50% off anybody who does it. I've offered it. The price will go up next week, because it's supposed to go up next week, because that's just how business works. So I want to give people the opportunity who see the value in themselves, see the value in their children, to jump on it right now. So if you go to www.cyberbusinesscamp.com, please go ahead and sign up. Now, some have asked about multi-child, so they have siblings who want to take it together. Yes, we do have those. Please contact me directly if you would like to do any type of sibling discount, things of that nature. If you're part of a nonprofit or some type of church program or things of that nature, where you want, you have a bunch of kids that you want to get into it, we do have discounts for that. But nothing is better than taking the early action right now. As Marcus Lamona says, my first offer is always my best offer. And so I'm giving you my first offer right out the gate. I've just started advertising last week. So these people who are taking early action and showing it, I want to reward that, because I feel it's very important to reward early action. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to unmute yourself or type them in the comments, or or reach out to me directly. But I'm so glad that you all came. I'm gonna just kind of give you just a little bit of give a little bit of time for anybody who may have it. So maybe about 30 seconds. Nobody asks for 30 seconds, then I'm gonna go ahead and we'll end it. So are there any questions in the field? All righty. So if you did register via Zoom, you can expect to get an email with the replay in it if you want to go over it one more time. If you did not, you'll have to, it will be on our YouTube, our Twitter, our Twitch, and our Facebook pages. But please, I encourage you, for the next 48 hours, jump on it. It is the opportunity of a lifetime. It is life-changing. You can ask the parents. I've even, if you can see it on the videos and things of that nature, that them talking about it. Again, it's something that I love. I really want to invest in our future, which is one of the reasons why I keep the price so low, because I know that the more people that I can help, the better. But I also know that there has to be an investment in order for it to really work. People really don't appreciate what's given to them, but when they invest into it, they actually get, and you're very welcome, those who have said thank you in the comments. They really are able to get into it and enjoy it and actually get the results they want. So, been wonderful speaking to everybody. Again, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, metaphysical speculations, feel free to holler at me. Again, this is Carl Gray signing off. Thank you all so much for coming.